Would you believe that there are places on Earth that are on the map, but in reality it is almost impossible to get there? And many of those who have gone have never returned. This is not a myth, but real information found in the reports of modern scientists, military documents, and personal diaries of explorers. Today, we will learn about a region that many call the black zone of the Earth, an area where compasses do not work, GPS shows wrong, and even time seems to break its own rules. At the center of this mystery is a mountain, the shape of which is so perfect that even many scientists have been amazed. The four directions are facing exactly north, south, east, and west. Such a perfect geometric structure is almost impossible in ordinary mountains. The question is it a creation of nature, or was it created by someone? Those who have visited this mountain have reported some strange experiences. Some said that their body changes increased abnormally in a few days. Hair, nails are growing rapidly. Some said that their watches do not match real time. Scientists have tried to explain it with altitude, radiation, weather, with everything, but no explanation fits perfectly. And it doesn't end there. Near this region there are two lakes, one living, the other dead. Despite being next to each other, one is drinkable, full of life, and the other is salty, silent, almost lifeless. Why are there so many differences between them, even though they are in the same environment? And the strangest thing, this entire region is partially blank on the official maps of some countries, as if someone is hiding something on purpose. But why? In search of the answer to this question, we are starting our journey today to one of the most mysterious areas on Earth, where every stone, every mountain, every shadow tells an unknown story. Are you ready to face that mystery? Because this story is not just about a mountain or a place. It is the story of a reality that teaches us much more about the world than we know is still unknown. We think we've seen every corner of the world with satellites, drones, and modern technology, but the truth is there are still some areas that are either deliberately hidden or that people don't yet have enough knowledge to explain. This mountain is located thousands of meters above sea level, where the oxygen content in the air is so low and the climate is so harsh that it's almost impossible for humans to stay there for long. In winter, the temperature drops to such an extent that even modern equipment can stop working. The situation is not much different in summer. The ultraviolet rays are so intense that ordinary protection measures are almost ineffective. Nevertheless, every year, some explorers, some researchers, and some curious people rush to this region. Because human nature is such, where there is prohibition, there is curiosity. But surprisingly, the results of most of the research conducted in this region are never fully published. Some information is published, some is partially hidden, and some disappears altogether. Why? Is this just a natural complication, or is there another reason behind it? Many researchers believe that the formation of this mountain is not just a geological phenomenon, but that it has some features that go beyond the limits of our known science. Some observations have shown that when standing in certain places on the mountain, people's ability to determine direction is abnormally disrupted. The compass does not stay fixed in one direction, but changes direction repeatedly. Even some modern digital devices cannot work properly there. Now the question is this effect only due to the local magnetic field, or is there something deeper hidden behind it? Another thing that worries researchers the most is some strange rock formations found around this mountain. Although they look like ordinary mountain rocks, their arrangement is so regular and symmetrical that many have called it impossible to be created naturally. In some cases, they are arranged in such a way that they are designed for a specific purpose. But who would create it, and why? There is no clear answer to this question. This mystery deepens when we look at the ancient stories of the region. In some old local accounts, this mountain is called the center of the earth, or the axis of the world, a place where the sky and the earth meet. Although many consider these to be just religious or mythical beliefs, the surprising thing is that these beliefs are found in different cultures around the world without any direct connection between them. Coincidence or a hint of reality? No one has been able to give a definitive answer to this question yet. But we are not here today just to raise questions. We will look for all the clues, all the information that, if put together, may be able to create a picture of this mystery. Because the story of this mountain does not end here. Scattered around it are places that, when viewed separately, are mysterious, but when viewed together, they become part of a larger puzzle. Caves where there is evidence of human presence, but there is no way to get there. Cities that have suddenly become deserted, but not destroyed. Areas where machinery stops working and people lose their way. Is there a connection between all of these, or are these just separate, strange events? We will move forward step by step to find the answers to these questions, and in the next part, we will enter a place where thousands of caves hang from the mountainside, at heights that are difficult to reach even with today's technology. But who built those caves, and what did they hide there? Which many archaeologists consider one of the strangest human settlements in the world. But the problem is, there is no normal settlement here. No roads, no modern entrances. There are just countless caves carved into the mountainside, located at a height that ordinary people can never reach. Imagine a steep mountain wall and rows of small doors in that wall. From a distance, it looks as if someone has deliberately hidden an entire city inside the rock. This region is found in some remote valleys on the border of Nepal and Tibet, where there are hundreds, if not thousands, of artificial caves. These are commonly known as hanging cave cities. But the biggest question is, who built them? Because even with today's technology, it is almost impossible to build a permanent settlement on such a steep mountain. There are no permanent roads, no easy way to build. Yet signs of human habitation have been found inside these caves: earthenware pots, paintings on the walls, religious symbols, and even skeletons. And the strangest thing is, all of these are not the same age. Some of the cave artifacts are believed to be 500 years old, while others are thought to be more than 2,000 years old. But the problem is that the same type of architecture and the same type of painting appear again and again, as if an unknown culture has been operating in this entire region for hundreds of years. Now the question is, did the same culture survive for so long, or were multiple civilizations built on top of each other? Researchers are most confused about one thing: the height of these caves. Many of the caves are located in places where even today you have to lower a rope from a helicopter. But inside, some things have been found that seem to be part of everyday life. There are cooking places, sleeping arrangements, and even places of religious worship. So the question is, how did these people get there? And why did they settle in such a dangerous place? This is where the mystery deepens. These caves are mentioned in some ancient manuscripts. It says the upper city, where people live close to the sky, and where the laws of the lower world do not work. Many researchers initially thought it was a religious allegory. But later, when the structure of the caves was analyzed, some unusual similarities were found. The drawings on the walls of some caves show strange shapes, human-like but not completely human. In some cases, the head structure is enlarged. In some cases, the arms or body are unusually long or modified. Are these imaginations, or the result of some real observations? No one has been able to answer this question. Another important point is that many parts of these caves are still unexplored, because the path to get inside them is very dangerous, and some parts are at risk of completely collapsing. Therefore, research is limited. But the information that has been found indicates only one thing. There was no ordinary settlement here, but rather it was a planned and complex structure. But who built such a complex structure inside the mountain, and why? Some researchers think that it was a safe haven. People climbed the mountains to escape war, natural disasters, or political unrest. But this explanation does not entirely fit, because the layout of the caves is not just for safety. It is made according to a specific design. Another strange thing has been found here. Some parts of the caves are connected to each other by tunnels, but it is still not known where these tunnels end. Some expedition teams have claimed to have suddenly lost their way after entering. In some cases, the equipment stopped working, and in some cases, the team was forced to return quickly. Now the question becomes even bigger. Is there really something hidden here? Or is it just a complex natural formation of the difficult terrain? There is no clear answer to this mystery, but one thing is clear. This cave city is not just an archaeological site, but a riddle that still questions human history. And before we delve deeper into this puzzle, we must see another wonder, a city that was once alive, vibrant, and prosperous, but suddenly it has almost been wiped off the map of the world. A city that once housed 100,000 people, but today there is only silence. In the next part, we will unravel the mystery of that lost city, where every wall still tells a story of the past, but no one is alive to hear those stories. Deep in that mysterious region of western Tibet, as the shadow of Kailash slowly lengthens on the rocks, it seems as if nature is hiding itself again and again according to some secret law. After the unknown explanation of the second part, where the lake, the abnormality of time, and the perfect geometry of the mountain were questioning each other, the reality becomes even stranger. Because this mountain is not just a geographical formation, but a center where 4 religions, many civilizations, and centuries of observation have stopped at the same time, but have not been able to reach any conclusions. Of the 8 mysterious regions that are being studied around Kailash, the most uncomfortable part is the forbidden area in the northwest, which the locals silently avoid. Outwardly, it is like any other mountain, a mixture of stone, ice, wind, and emptiness. But after entering here, the human machine stops working, and a kind of pressure is created in the attention, as if someone is watching everything but saying nothing. Some Soviet-era expeditions reported that the flow of time in this region was not normal, as fatigue and feelings changed more quickly than normal due to repeated work. Another expedition, which never returned, recorded a single sentence on the last page of its diary, stating that losing direction meant not only losing one's way, but also changing one's perception of reality. This line is still considered one of the most unsettling details among researchers, because it is not a religious interpretation, but rather the result of observation. The vertical grooves on the southern slope of Kailash, which were previously interpreted as the result of natural erosion, have been shown to have a strange consistency in new observations. From a distance, it seems as if the entire mountain has been cut in layers according to a specific plan. Although many researchers initially dismissed this as the effect of glaciers, it was later discovered that the depth, spacing, and direction of these grooves are so consistent with each other that it does not quite fit into a random natural process. At this stage, a more strange thing comes to the fore. The rate of physical changes in humans is faster at certain points around the mountain. Pilgrims who complete the Koru do not only talk about religious experiences, but also about physical changes. Changes in hair, nails, and even the feeling of fatigue in the body occur in a way that cannot be fully explained by general environmental changes. Although some want to explain it as the effect of altitude, the answer to the question of why these changes are concentrated at certain points is still missing. The most strange aspect of this mystery is the behavior of Manasarovar and Rakshasa Lake. Despite being in the same geographical environment, one lake is full of living aquatic life, while the other is almost lifeless and salty. Although hydrologists have been creating various models for a long time, no model has been able to provide a completely stable explanation. Because here, not only the water, but also the behavior of the environment acts like 2 different realities. At this stage, the research perspective gradually begins to change, and it is no longer just geology or hydrology, but an interdisciplinary mystery, where physics, history, anthropology, and religious beliefs collide. But the strange thing is that no one aspect can completely cancel out the other. The connection of this region with ancient caves around Kailash and extinct cities like Koparang makes it even more complicated. Because there is no definitive evidence that the paintings, skeletons, and architectural styles found there are part of the same civilization, but there are many similarities. These similarities are difficult to explain as mere coincidence, because they carry similar designs and ideas at different time levels. The biggest question in all this gradually becomes clearer. If this region is really just a natural formation, then why has it been the center of so many different cultures for thousands of years? And why the rules of observation repeatedly fail once you enter it? No one answers this question directly, but every expedition, every document, and every observation points in the same direction: that there is something here that can not only be seen, but also felt, but cannot be explained. And it is from here that the story goes deeper, where the boundaries between reality and explanation gradually blur. In this last part of Kailash, the whole story is no longer limited to mountains or lakes, but it gradually becomes a question of how complete the reality known to man is, and how much still stands on an unknown level. Because here, every mystery seems not just an incident, but part of a larger structure, invisibly connected to each other. That forbidden region in the northwest, the vertical groove in the south, the opposite behavior of Manasarovar and Rakshasa Lake, and the perfect geometry of Kailash all combine to create a strange picture, where nature itself seems to follow a law, but that law is beyond human interpretation. The strangest thing is that every time research has been done in this region, even though some questions have been answered, new questions have been raised. If someone says that it is just a geological formation, then the abnormality of time is not explained. If someone says that it is a religious center, then physical and scientific observations cannot be ignored. And if someone says that it is a coincidence, then the coincidence of so many similarities together creates an even bigger question. For this reason, Kailash still stands as a completely open question, around which people have come, seen, felt for thousands of years, but could not fully understand. And this is where the most important aspect of the story begins, because this mystery not only gives an indication of the past, but also of the present. Maybe some places on Earth are designed in such a way that human knowledge can only reach, but can never grasp the whole truth. But the question is now up to you. Do you think that all these mysteries are just the result of natural formations, or is there something here that is still beyond human understanding? And if there really is something that has not yet been explained, what do you think it could be? Write your opinion in the comments, because the real part of such stories lies in the thoughts and interpretations of the audience. And if this mysterious journey has made you think even a little, then subscribe to the channel and stay tuned, because there are more unknown stories coming up that will force you to question the world you know in a new way.